You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.
All right, so
Whoa. Sorry, that was loud.
So for those of you who are only listening and not watching, I suggest that you stop what you're doing. If you're at work, leave work, go home, put on whatever YouTube, Spotify, whatever it is.
Or watch from work. Who cares?
100%
from work.
should be watching this video. And why? Because we have a very special guest on.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, it's okay.
Oh,
There you go.
hello.
We have Hannah Bronson's, guess what? Fiance.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. He proposed this weekend.
Yes.
And we are.
And we've officially unveiled. Now that she's officially, or I guess not officially yet, but going to be officially part of the family.
She is 100% officially part of the family.
Well, no, officially it's not.
She's
until she's my wife.
No, she's officially part of our family. You can.
No, unofficially. She's unofficially.
Okay, we'll debate that.
I'm 99%.
No,
there.
you're officially doesn't matter. You are officially part of our
Yes,
family.
no, I agree, of course.
So, big fucking weekend.
Yeah.
We are pumped to have you on, Hannah. I got to tell you, how's it feel to be on
Thank
the
you.
daddy
A
issue?
little scary.
That's okay. In 2
I'm
minutes.
so out of my element.
No, you're not.
No,
2
but
minutes
this
to be fine.
podcast wouldn't have, our relationship wouldn't have happened if it
That's
wasn't for this
true.
podcast.
Right. So,
She was a massive podcast fan.
Okay, no.
As
No,
all
that's
of you
not
listening,
true. No.
all of you listeners also
but the big
are, and that's how it happened.
The big joke is, though, that now that Bronson's engaged, we are going to lose 90% of our listeners, all the single women that wanted Bronson.
all the 45-year-old single women.
That's okay, Bron. It's all good.
Honestly, most of our listeners are like moms. They're not even single women. They're like
All the single ladies.
early to middle-aged moms. That's the majority of our listeners, like 35 to 50 women. So,
Okay, so
they can't be interested in you?
well, they're moms, and
That's
I think
okay.
a lot of them are married. And
that's okay.
I mean, I guess
so,
they could still be interested.
so all-
everyone's interested in me.
right. Oh, God. So before we go into letting Hannah speak, I got to tell you that we are pumped. We are psyched.
It's weird sitting in the middle and having to look back at both.
We Hannah, I said, we love you. We are so fucking pumped to have you part of our family. I got to say that we couldn't have chosen better. We are
couldn't have.
meaning mom and if we had to choose somebody for our son.
Oh, gotcha.
We are psyched. It's so nice. We had such a little background. We had it. So
We'll go into all the.
okay.
We'll
I'm gonna
recap
say,
the whole weekend.
We had a beautiful weekend. It was great. All happy stuff with all shit going on in this world. We are pumped. Kudos to the two of you guys. Could not be more excited. We are so selfishly happy, Nell and I. And, all our peeps listening, this has been going on for years.
And
Fucking
yeah.
A, man. Guys, I'm telling you, know me. I am the most judgmental. Say it like it is. She's fucking awesome. We are pumped. All you guys can go fuck yourselves. We are pumped. We are
What
happy.
do you mean? All they can go? Everyone who listens now listens because they love us.
No, me. You know what I'm saying?
and they follow along with our lives.
I love our people.
and this is like another. This is
Yeah.
a monumentous occasion.
We are pumped, and it's great. So we'll tell you about the weekend of Charlotte. But go on. So Hannah, now you are part of the Bloom clan.
Yes.
Poor you.
Yeah, for real. Well, I mean, it's funny because people listening, we met. I guess we'll give all the lore.
Oh, great story.
Right, because remember there was that episode
There were
where
a few episodes where you guys
Whoa,
talked
look
about
at
me.
you
Wait.
getting involved, interrupting. Whoa, slow down there, Rainbow. No, go ahead. Wow, huh? Go.
but there were like
Look, let her finish. Go ahead,
Yeah,
I'm just
you go.
teasing you.
What were you
No,
gonna
I
say?
think you were about to say it as well. There were a few episodes in the beginning where you guys were talking about me when we first started talking.
Yeah, and the episode that I cried on remember when I cried because I was leaving LA? That was
Oh,
the
I
weekend
thought
that we met.
you pulled your nose hair out.
That was
Okay.
that was the weekend that we met in person.
It was.
So this has been part of the podcast for a long time, like our relationship, and we've talked about you without. I remember at first we talked about you without using your name.
Right. And then I was the girl from
You were LA girl, and then we mentioned your name, but no one ever saw you,
Right.
and then now you're here.
I'm telling everybody, you should really watch because you'll hear her voice, but you'll get to know her more if you see. And they make such a beautiful.
Who doesn't want to look?
Listen, they make such a beautiful couple. You can see the enjoyment. You can see the happiness of the two of them, and they are perfect together. And selfishly, like I said to Hannah's parents, like Bronson, you deserve it. Like I'm gonna get all teary-eyed, but like you deserve it. You're such a good kid. You deserve a knock on wood, a beautiful life, and you earned it. And I said you deserve it, and you chose right, and you guys are gonna have a great life, and you both are true equals to one another. And Mom and I, you know, Hannah, you heard it 100 times already on every toast we made over the weekend. We are, it was just fucking over the moon with the two of you guys, and we selfishly we are pumped for the two of you guys. We are just pumped. I don't even know what to even say.
Thank you.
No, yeah, it's exciting, and it's all. As you were just saying that, I was thinking like, wow, it's weird that our kids will be able to look at. Like, how weird would it be to look at your parents when they first got engaged?
Love it.
Follow
And watch
along.
a
How great is
video
that?
of like your grandpa talking to your dad.
Right.
About, like, that's
About my
so
mom.
weird.
Isn't that cool?
No, I love that.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
That our kids
And
will
it
have that.
started-
It's weird to even just publicly say like, oh yeah, our kids.
Right.
That's weird.
Yeah, but this started because of the loss of my dad. Remember, we talked about that on the ride home. So I think it's nice that you guys were able to share this. And
Well, I think like the shit that this podcast literally brought about our marriage. That's fucking weird.
That's
so
crazy.
explain
And
everybody.
then our
explain,
children will be
explain-
like, yes, we exist because mom and dad met because dad had a podcast with grandpa. Like, that's fucking
Which is crazy.
weird.
But
It's
why
crazy.
don't you tell a little bit of history about that, because so people understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, so Hannah slid into my DMs.
Okay. No.
Yeah, okay. Wait, Hannah, it's not about you, okay? No, okay, okay.
Why don't you say it then?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So I can't remember if it was my mom or me who first saw TikTok clips of you guys. And either she showed me or I showed her. We found out. Oh,
You're good. You're doing great. Don't worry.
I was like, that guy has to be
That
Jewish.
guy's so fucking hot. That guy sounds so cool.
Yeah, but then she's like, but that's a little cringe because that's his dad. So I want to talk about Bron.
ew.
I'm like, go ahead.
Ew.
No, go ahead.
So I started following along. I don't think that I would. I listened to some podcast episodes, but it was mostly the TikToks. And then I looked at your Instagram. We had a few mutual friends. One specifically I was hanging out with one weekend.
Which is also interesting in of itself.
Right.
So you're in Beverly Hills. He's over here in South
Right.
Florida, and you guys have some commonality of friends.
Right.
Which is
you know
also
what's
But
even
Jewish
weirder?
geography, so
Right,
that kind of
right.
makes sense.
What's even weirder, and this is going back even before we met or knew of each other at all, is that when I worked at Appian and she worked at her previous firm, we were in so
we're flexing. She's a lawyer, by the way.
yeah,
right?
she's a lawyer.
That's
Just
whatever.
flexing.
We
Yeah,
were
yeah.
so in
Wait, counselor, rookie.
in
Go ahead.
Hollywood, like on Sunset in Hollywood, like by Beverly Hills, there's not that many high rises. And there's these two high rises that are part of the same development, and they're the two office
And they're
buildings
right
that
next
are
to
right
each
next to
other.
each other. My job is in the West Tower, and her job is in the East Tower.
And they're
That's weird.
Isn't
Yeah.
that weird?
They're
We
not-
worked in the same.
It's like the Twix commercial.
Yeah,
Go
but like, and they're connected by a
and
lobby
there are
and
not
everything.
a lot of law firms in that area. There's a lot of entertainment stuff, but the law firms are in a
All
different
right, so
area.
that's a weird thing.
Very
but,
weird.
But there's other stories that we're going to get into as well.
Oh,
It shows
yeah.
how weird things are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's even goes further
You're
back.
right. You're
Beca-
right.
Because you were saying we had mutual friends, so it was like a
Right.
little bit of a connection.
You're right. That's weird.
So
All right,
I'm with the
continue.
mutual friend. I ask her, how do you know Bronson? And she was a little cagey. Later, I found out that it was because she went on a date with Bronson, but that's...
Do I know who this is?
No, you don't.
Wow, you dated people.
Yeah,
Interesting.
kind of.
All
So
right.
we
But
sent
that's
a-
okay. That doesn't
no,
matter.
No,
Of
no,
course.
not
That
at
doesn't
all.
matter.
So we sent a photo.
It
If
meant
anything,
nothing.
thank you to her
Yes,
because
thank you.
she's like
Right.
without her
Correct.
we wouldn't have
Right.
met.
Correct.
Really,
Yep.
Right.
probably.
100%.
So we sent a photo of me and her to Bronson, and then he was like, "Who is that?" My
But
Insta.
she sent the first.
Yes. So I
message
sent the
on-
photo
on
with the
Instagram.
girl, and then
Good
from
for
then
you.
on, thank you.
Go ahead.
Modern women
My
nowadays,
Instagram
you know?
also at that point looked like I lived in Florida because it was COVID and LA was shut down, so I was constantly
all
in
of her
Florida.
posts were in Miami. So
Yeah.
when she followed me on Instagram, I was like, oh shit, this hot chick who lives in Miami followed me. Awesome. Like that was. I don't know if I would have when she
Right.
DM'd me.
You're right.
If
Right.
she DM'd me, I don't know if I would have even entertained much more, like, really entertained it if I didn't see that all of her photos were Miami.
There's so many things in life as you see, which I'm sure you know, but it will get more and more as you get older, that things change and directions of your path in life are by little simple things that could have went either way.
Right.
All right, so continue. Go
bizarre.
ahead. Go ahead, Hannah.
So at this point, I was about to start studying for the bar exam. and
Wait, show the ring. What the fuck?
I
Look
did
at-
show it at the beginning.
Look at that
This is
ring,
my
huh?
ring.
My boy knows how to do.
Beautiful.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Everyone listening, you need to go join Patreon because I need the money.
So go on. Go on.
So I head back to LA. I start studying for the bar, and Bronson messages me something. about
No, you
saying that we
sent-
should hang out.
Yeah, no, actually, what you
I posted
a
a story
your
of Shabbat candles. Yes. So then Bronson
with the Jewish star. So I was like, oh shit, she's beautiful and she's Jewish. I was like, this is awesome, and she lives in Miami. So I DM'd you, replied to your story, and
Which
I
is
was like,
interesting that you DM'd her because there's a lot of people you would never have DM'd.
no, of course not.
Right.
But
I love that.
I
think it's
replied
great.
to her story, and I was like, what are you doing tonight? Or like, let's get a drink or something.
and then I responded to that
She's like, I'll meet you in West Hollywood. Okay.
No, it was,
after the bar, meaning yes, we can get a drink after I finished
Study.
taking
so
the bar.
I said, what bar are you at? I'll come meet you. Because I didn't. She
Makes
said, she
sense.
said after the bar. I was like, oh, okay, after the bar. Let's go to another bar after.
Right.
Where are you?
Right. Makes sense.
And she was like, no, the
the California bar.
Right.
And then I was like, oh shit, you live in California? And then but then we still kept talking.
Yeah, here and there. You visited LA. You were
Well, no,
in
so
LA.
I was moving.
you're
So
right.
I came.
This is a huge component here.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yes.
were DMing back and forth. Just, like, I'm sure a lot of people listening, you just, you reply to people's stories that you like or whatever. Just everyone knows what I'm talking about. So we were just doing that for a little while, a couple months maybe. And then I was, as you guys all listening know, I went back to LA for the weekend to pack up my apartment.
We were
to-
with you, helping you
to
pack
move
up.
it all back, to move it all to Miami because that's where I was moving. It was kind of maybe like a year into this podcast. So I landed and I posted a story because the weather was like shitty. And I was like, oh, so glad to be back in
Amazing how
LA.
Things happen so good.
And I posted that story, which I don't know if I necessarily would have always just posted a story about me being in LA. I was only there for like 2 or 3 days and I was moving. So I didn't, have plans. And she replied to the story and she was like, oh, you're in my neighborhood or something. Like,
Yeah.
let's go out.
Wild.
Right.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
So we make plans to hang out, to go out.
And think, what
to
if
dinner.
what if you were out of town?
Oh,
Well,
wait.
she was going to be.
supposed to be out of town.
She had a
and
trip planned.
Had a trip planned. We
not
canceled
know
the
that.
trip. Yeah, because the friend I was going with, her grandfather passed away.
Okay,
So if her
Cancel the
grandfather
trip.
passed away,
So
didn't pass
you
away.
didn't cancel the trip because you just canceled the trip because of circumstance with her grandfather.
Yes.
Yeah, if her
Yes.
grandfather didn't pass away,
You would
she
not
would
be
have been
here.
away.
You
and
would not be here.
right.
Yes.
Isn't that
Yes.
crazy? That
Fucking
shit.
weird.
See what I'm saying?
It's bizarre.
I didn't know that. Continue.
Yeah,
Yes.
literally, she was supposed to be out of the state.
Wow.
I was supposed to be in Austin with my friend because it was a post-bar trip.
Austin was the boy she was dating before. You say that. No, but isn't that crazy though when you think
Yeah,
about that?
it really is.
It's so weird.
Wow.
So anyway,
by the way, great. I love this shit.
Yeah.
she
Love it.
happened to be in town.
No, I want to hear from her. I hear
So,
from you all
yes.
the time.
Yeah, true.
Go ahead.
So you asked me to dinner. So we had plans to go to dinner. I think this was Wednesday or
It was
Thursday night.
Wednesday
night.
And I was moving out Thursday day.
Tuesday
What's
during
wild.
the day.
No, Friday day. Sorry, Friday day.
But let's go back for a minute. So you're supposed to be out of town.
Yes.
Be in Austin, Texas.
And who knows when the next time I would have been in LA was?
It wouldn't. By the way, would never have happened.
No.
And you don't know. There's so many things in life that we probably miss.
Right.
And like that one we clocked, because her grandfather passed away, she was in town. But I'm sure there's many other times that you don't even realize that something else had to happen.
So, and interesting enough that you just happen to say, okay, I'm going to, because you can say like, all right, he's cute, but I'm not going to reach out
And
to him.
she knew I lived in Miami and she lived
Right,
in
so
LA.
what's
it's
the point?
Why? Right.
So I thought,
Wow.
why not?
Love it.
You know?
Good for you.
The least it could be is a waste of a night, but it wasn't
At least
going
it could
to
be
be.
as a free dinner.
No,
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 you're
never.
not like that.
I
Never.
don't.
Don't worry about that. But go on. I'm listening.
Okay, so we make plans for Wednesday night. Tuesday afternoon, lunchtime, my mom and I decide to go to lunch, and we go to Jones on Third.
Which I love because they have a great breakfast burrito.
So we're sitting outside for a little bit, and at the time,
And by the way, there's only 2 Jones on Thirds in all of LA. So it's
yeah.
not like it's
It's like McDonald's.
weird that you guys ran into the
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
anyways,
So
yeah, I'm
we're
skipping
sitting
ahead.
at a table. Me, my mom, and our little dog. You guys walk in. Everyone except for Bronson. I don't know if Bryce was there. Maybe not.
No.
Bryce is not no. Bryce.
Yeah.
So it's me,
So-
me, Nell, and Burke.
First, I hear you, and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, that annoying Jewish voice. That's when you're supposed to say no. Okay. That's when you're supposed to say no
No.
again.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I hear you, and I go, "Oh my god!" And at this point, Bronson and I had plans to see each other the next night, and for some reason, I just didn't know if he told you guys. I don't know. I didn't want it.
True,
the
but I wouldn't
situation
even
to be
know who
weird.
you
I
are.
know,
Right.
but
You know,
I know, but
Burke.
then
I'm in
also,
my
like,
head.
what if it got back that I was like, oh my God, you saw her and I'm going on a date?
And then
That's so
I'm
weird.
the
She's
creeper
stalking you
that's
guys.
I get it. I get it. Okay.
So I tell my mom, we got to get up. We have to move.
So
we
funny.
have to move. So my mom, you guys sit at the table right next to us outside.
Unbelievable.
It's insane.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And my mom knows who you guys are. She knows that I'm going on this date the
She's
next
a
night.
listener, and we appreciate that.
Yeah. And
Shout out Edith.
it's funny also, my mom dropped the dog leash. You helped pick it up as we were moving
Which is
tables
also crazy
away
because that
from
means you guys did have an interaction.
And what's even more amazing, I was nice. Like, that's shocking. You'd be like, what the fuck? Look at this person.
And because it was a little chihuahua too. I feel like you would
like
have
a
been
rat.
like,
Like,
I'm
look
not
at a
gonna-
rat. Yeah, you know. But that's interesting. That
Yeah.
was so nice.
Yeah.
That shocks me the most.
Yeah.
Go on.
So
The
we
fact that
go.
you guys had an interaction.
It's just
It's like a
weird.
movie.
Yeah.
It really
Serendipity.
is.
Is that like what serendipity is?
Yeah.
Yep. Wow,
So
I'm
we
proud of
moved to a
myself.
different table. We finish our lunch and then we get back into my mom's car. And I remember this so specifically. My mom left her car on. So her car was running the entire time.
Yeah, I should.
It's
I,
The whole
you're-
lunch.
You're lucky I was nice. Yeah, you're lucky I was. Love your mom, but oh my god.
So we leave. The next day happens. We get dinner. We go to Delilah in LA.
Great
and then,
place.
We have a nice dinner. We get drinks after. Where did we? We went to a
to
rooftop.
EPLP.
You're on a
and
rooftop.
then mom and dad text me and they're like, we have nothing to do. Where are you? And
We're
I was
bored.
like, I'm at this rooftop bar. And they were like, okay, we're coming. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
And I was like, it's fine.
But then I asked her, I was like, my parents say they're coming. I don't know. Well,
But
like,
also
Well, it's a
think
little
about
when
it
you-
from my perspective. He's someone who's from out of town. I'm like, okay, so whatever.
Right.
So his
Like,
parents
this is
show
just
up.
a fun
That's fine.
night.
It could be a funny story. I'm not,
And we're close, and you know, right? So we and we're
and also the fact, I guess,
and
too,
you
that-
could tell me no. You know, I would not take offense to
yeah.
it.
But I think also the fact that you would listen to the podcast, I was like, oh, it'll be funny because she already kind of knows you.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I was like, oh, it's not just like my random parents showing up. Like she already kind of knows of you.
Which would be cringe.
If it was just random parents.
Yeah,
I
like
mean, it was still cringe. The fact that I brought my parents on our first date.
You didn't bring
them.
them.
No, I know. But
don't
I was
say
just-
that.
I was just-
That would be weird.
I'm just bored. We were bored, and we had nothing to do. So we're like, let's just fuck it. We'll see what you do. And we stayed 10 minutes.
yeah. And then you guys left.
So wait, whoa, Rainbow, slow down. So then you tell us that you ran into us
Yes.
that night. We meet you for 10 minutes, and we leave. And I swear on my life, you heard this for the first time Saturday night, but this is the God's honest truth. When we spent 10 minutes at the rooftop bar, and then we didn't want to, be too weird, so we would leave. When I leave, I'm with Nell alone. I said, he's going to marry her. Nell says, what are you talking about? I swear on my life, this is the truth. And I go, I don't know now. I'm just telling you. She goes, what are you doing? You just met him for 10 minutes. He said 10 words. I go, 100% he's going to marry that one. And here
That's
we are.
really crazy.
And I swear on my whole life, that's the God's honest truth.
what made you think that?
yeah, good question.
That's a good question. It's very hard for me to remember because I was only there 10 minutes on the
And it was
roof.
probably a feeling.
It just was a feeling. Something about you, something, I don't know, it's just a weird, like if I had to think of what Bronson would want from I'm very good. I'm not right all the time, but I'm probably about 99% of the time. I'm very good with reading people and situations and my gut instinct. And I just went off of that. And I just felt it. And I've never said that in all the 3,000 girls Bronson dated before you. No, I'm only teasing you. But honestly,
Although she knows me so well, she knows I'm not that cool. So
don't worry. She was into Austin, so it doesn't matter. But my point is, I don't know why, but it's just is what it is, and it's true. So then we leave. Your place is vacant.
Well, so then, that was Wednesday night. Friday was my move out day. So Thursday I was packing up all this stuff. But Thursday night, I was like, I want to see you again. So we hung out again.
Yes.
And
Thursday night you had a meetup.
Yeah. We had a podcast
That was
meet
fun.
and greet at the
That
Den.
was fun.
Yes.
And a few
Good people.
And we had like 15, 20
I
listeners
liked
came out.
all good people. Yeah, that was
so we
fun.
hung out and you came to that.
Yeah.
And
You
then,
did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys told me you should come, and it was at the Den
was at
on
the Den.
Thursday
The Den,
night.
remember?
She
That I
came,
don't
she came
remember.
for like an hour, and because
Okay.
her friend's boyfriend was DJing at a club, she was like, I have to go to that
Oh, I
after.
remember that.
And then
I
remember,
remember
I
that.
left.
Okay.
So she came to the meetup. I left and met up with you and your friends at a bar
Yep.
in Santa Monica.
Oh, Mom and I had a great night that night.
You guys were hanging out with,
were
like, black
fucking
people. It was
hanging
crazy.
out with people we never ever met. I mean, that's shocking in
This is
itself.
why I've never been on the podcast.
Listen, oh yeah, like you don't think it. But my point is, so we to like
Do you have any black friends?
Stop.
Do you?
Yes.
Name them. What's their names? Zerai.
Leroy.
She said Zerai.
and Zariah identifies as being white, just so you know that. But wait, that is some funny shit. So listen, Mom and I had a great. We had them like 3 a.m. We went bar hopping with like people in there. Like it was.
No, that's funny.
It was such an impromptu fucking night.
But that's like a Hollywood night for you.
We had an awesome night. All right, so continue.
So I met up with her and her friends at a bar in Santa Monica. then we went to another bar after, and we were just hanging out late into the night.
So
And I
nice.
was leaving, so
You had a flight for the next day.
yeah, because I was handing over my keys to the landlord on Friday. Like that was my official move out day, and then I was on a flight home that night with you and Mom.
Right, it was a
We
red
were all
eye.
flying like Friday night.
Didn't we
after
go to
my-
that hardware place? I went to that hardware place for dinner with Mom. I think the night
Floral
before.
Hardware?
That. Yeah.
Because we were like, we don't have any, like we were
We were
gonna leave
homeless.
right
You were
after
homeless.
I gave my apartment up because we were staying there. So
We didn't even have a hotel. We had to check out.
right,
She was in
exactly.
Red eye. I
Because
remember
we
that, yeah.
literally were leaving right after.
Yep.
So that was the plan. I was hanging out with her Thursday night, and we were just like, we're hanging out, and we, you know, I mean, I'm sure people listening who are married or love someone or whatever in a relationship, you just know, like, you know, you can go on some dates and then you go on others, and you just know you're like, oh, this is,
But I don't want to leave this person.
yeah, you're just like, this
I
is
get it.
something special. Like, I'm not. So that was the way it was on our, I guess that
Matter
was
of
our
fact, didn't you
second date.
and not come home with us? You stayed.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so we were at a bar late into the night just talking for hours on that second night that we knew each other, and I was like, I can't leave. Like I'm not leaving tomorrow.
Right, you weren't
just
supposed
because
to
you
come
have
with
that
us.
feeling.
Right.
So we were at the bar in
Yeah.
Santa Monica, and I changed my
Wait,
flight.
let her talk.
Every Friday night, my parents would host a Shabbat dinner. So we would always have. So Bronson was deciding whether he wanted to extend his
That's
trip,
the day of
cancel his
rest
flight.
for you non-Jews. That's the day of rest. That's where I have a very nice family dinner and invite people over. And all right, continue.
Exactly. So I told Bronson that he should just come to my family dinner the next night,
Which is
cancel
nice.
his flight.
You brought flowers, didn't you?
He did.
Yeah, I remember that.
You did.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was running late because I had to go get the flowers, and the landlord was late with the
And you brought
walkthrough.
wine.
Yeah,
Right.
but hold on. Do you guys hear that little? Oh,
No.
I fixed it. Okay. So we were at the bar, and I literally changed my flight on my phone, and I texted my friend who lived in LA, and I was like, I'm gonna
Who's
need
that?
Garrett. I was like,
Garrett,
I'm gonna
yeah,
need
right.
to crash on your couch for the weekend, like because I'm staying here and I don't have a place. He was like, no problem. She's like, just come to dinner Friday night. Just come. And I was like, yeah, of course I'm gonna come. The next day, it's like we're moving out all this stuff, and I'm like, I told her I would go to dinner tonight. Now is it gonna
And
be
Mom and I
weird?
like, you have to go.
Well, I'm like, is it gonna be
That's
weird?
it.
Like we just met. Like, does she might not even want me to go? Like we were, out last night, and I changed my whole flight for this. It was like,
Also, in the moment, you think differently than the next day. You're like, oh my gosh, what did I just...
Did I invite him?
yeah. So
What's his name?
So I literally handed the keys to my landlord after the walkthrough. You guys were going to dinner and then going straight to the airport, and I had my bags because now I have all my clothes that aren't going back to Florida because I need them for the weekend. Because I already changed my flight to leave like Sunday, let's say, or Monday. So I show up at her house with bags, like not just like a backpack, like suitcases of clothes.
One suitcase.
And I'm
Yeah.
thinking, oh my God.
He's
he
moving
can't-
in.
He can't be staying over. This can't be happening. And then immediately you told me, don't worry. I'm sleeping at my friend's house. Let me just put these bags inside.
Yeah, she stashed them real fast. She made sure her parents did not see
them in the
those
living room.
suitcases. But then we had a nice dinner. I still remember everything about that
Yeah.
dinner. I remember what you were wearing. I remember where I was sitting at the table in the kitchen. Like
Yeah.
I remember all of it. And then we spent the rest of the weekend we hung out every day for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
I love it.
And
Here
then,
we are.
Yeah, I mean, there's I was here, you were there, we were talking, but like nothing
Not
because
really,
we
yeah.
didn't live in different places. But then, yeah, over the years, here we are,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're engaged.
great.
Which
And now
is
we're engaged.
Crazy.
It's
I
awesome.
guess we should talk a little bit about like the
Talk
proposal.
about 100%.
So I'd planned it for like 2 months. Can I say about New York or no?
What about?
Or conversation? In New
Oh,
York?
yeah.
We were in New York at my best friend's engagement party. We flew up there.
And everyone was asking us.
When was that? May?
June.
June.
Okay.
So we were there in June. It was my best friend's engagement party, and all my very, very close friends were there. And
Since
half,
you're 6 years old.
yeah, and
Right.
half of them are engaged, and half weren't. Right? I would say
It's
like
the normal age. It's the age.
yeah. So a lot of them are like my best friends and their fiancés, and so we're talking to everyone, and they're asking us like, oh, like when are you guys like? What are you guys thinking? What all that stuff? Whatever.
Trust me, Mom and I had those conversations between the two of us for quite some time. What's he waiting for? What's he waiting for? What's he waiting for?
So here's the thing, like I guess because I was talking to her about this yesterday. I've known that I wanted to marry you for like over a year. In my mind, you just know it. Like when people say, oh, you just like, how do you know? And it's like, you just know.
You know.
So I just knew, but I guess I just never thought of like, oh, practically, like I need to do these steps. I just was like, oh, it's going to happen. Like, we're just going to get married. But I wasn't thinking about like a timeline just because I don't know. I just wasn't thinking about it. So anyways, we left the party and people were asking us all these questions. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And we left the party. And on the way back in the cab, she was like,
You know, everyone keeps asking me. Everyone keeps coming up to me.
It was the first time I saw her serious about it. She was like,
let me hear her.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was serious. I was like, everyone keeps asking, this is the right time, but you have not, because Bronson had not mentioned anything. I knew he was thinking about it.
You mean the computer? I
My
do not
AI.
program. I do not know what that means.
Bronson's an animatronic.
Yeah,
That's
no
what I
question.
call him.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
but
we had a
here's the thing.
software reboot that night.
For software update.
Software update.
For me, I guess.
No, wait, pause for a minute. So you're
Well, I was going to say my thoughts on why we didn't talk about it.
No, but she says, I want to know. You're in the cab. Everyone says
No, but the reason I feel
Okay,
like
good.
because to me, and this is something I guess I just felt differently about it than most people. But for me, I was like, that's not something you talk about because it's all like it should be 100% like a surprise to the woman.
It should be a
shouldn't know.
surprise
but
when
you do have an idea. though.
you have a timeline. Exactly.
Or at least an idea of like, oh, we're probably going to like,
You
let's
talk about
get
your
engaged.
future. Like
Yeah.
when Mom and I, before we engaged, we did talk about our future. And
We've talked about our
you know,
future.
right. So, right.
Yeah, we
it
would
was
talk
never, like,
about that, but it was
serious.
always like eventually. And to me, I'm thinking in my brain, when eventually? In years? I'm not
we
waiting
thought that. We thought that
years.
too. But we did. But so you're in the cab and you said this. So what does he say?
I was silent.
Yeah.
Bronson was silent.
The whole time for like an hour. She's talking about all this stuff, but it was good. She was like, but really, like, what is going on? Because
And I wasn't yelling,
and she
but
was like,
I was
obviously,
like,
we both would want to get married to each
Right.
other. Like, we're going to get married. So, like, what is going? Like, what's the deal? And I just hadn't thought about it in that way. So I was just sitting there, just taking it in, and I was like, "You're right. I hear you. You're right. You're right." And that night, like the next day, was in my mind. I was like, "Yeah, honestly, what the fuck am I waiting for? There's no point." And that, when I got home from that trip, was when I was like, okay, now I got to start planning this stuff. And it was just because I was like, yeah, of course. What am I waiting for? Like, why wouldn't I be
Correct.
engaged to her? There's no
Right.
point in in waiting anymore.
Right.
And you
I
don't.
think
You don't
you-
want to be an old dad either.
No.
I think
Right.
you also mentioned you wanted to be steady and have a full-time job.
Yeah,
And I
but
was
don't
like,
worry. You-
eventually we'll get there.
And
we're-
you have a full time job.
Well,
Yeah.
so no, it wasn't that. It was that I was like, I just would feel like a loser if I'm a husband, but I don't have a job.
Okay,
But you're not.
old.
You're in school.
But
and
no, you went back to school a couple years later. You're building towards your future. You took 2 steps back to go a step forward. Your fiance has a job. You're not a loser. You're building something.
And you have your job, and I
Right.
knew that you were going to get the job, and
I
you
had
would
no
be fine.
Right, Mom saw in me. I had no money. She saw the drive, the motivation. She knew I would earn.
Yeah.
So you're not a loser if you're doing something to better yourself. and-
Obviously, I know logically I'm not, but I'm just saying, like, as a man, you
understand.
wouldn't want to go to mom's dad and be like, "Can I marry your daughter?" and you don't have a job. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what I was thinking in my head. So I was
Okay.
like, oh, realistically,
All right.
maybe
True, but
we'll
you-
get married after
Yeah,
I
but, you know,
graduate.
and then what?
No,
She's 72.
I'm just saying what
That's what
I
I said. I said I'm not waiting forever.
Right.
I'm just saying what I was thinking in my
Fair
mind. I'm
enough.
not saying it's right or
respect that.
wrong.
I
It's just what was
respect
going
that.
through my own mind.
So then, right. So continue.
So then I started really being like, okay, shit, yeah, I got to do this. So she told me, she was like, I think my parents may want to come for Labor Day weekend. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, that's perfect. That's when I'll do it. The timing's perfect. I have just enough time to plan this. And I knew I wanted her parents to.
This was a couple of months ago.
This was beginning of June, I guess, or
Yeah.
end of
Yeah.
May.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of months ago,
And I knew that she would have wanted her parents to be
which is very nice.
not necessarily like a part of the proposal, but I knew the least she would have wanted was to be able to celebrate her proposal with her family.
Right. Yeah.
And if her family was in
Yeah.
LA and the proposal was in Miami, she wouldn't have been able to do that.
I get it.
So I knew that her parents were thinking of coming here. So I waited. I was like, yes, your parents should definitely come. I was telling her. And then she was like, okay, they booked their tickets. And then I think literally like the next day, I FaceTimed her mom and dad.
No, you spoke to us first.
Oh, true. I spoke
I
to you
want to
guys
hear
on
about that conversation.
I spoke to you guys on Tuesday, and it's funny because it was actually me, you, Mom, Bubby, and Burke.
But
And
Bubby couldn't hear anything.
Well, I knew I was coming up. I was coming up to Boca to have dinner with you guys and to do a podcast, and I knew I was like, okay, tonight is the night I'm going to talk to them and be like,
Tonight is your night,
I
baby.
want to get the ball rolling. I'm going to tell them that I want to propose to her. And we were sitting at the dinner table, And mom said, so Hannah's parents are going to be coming in. Are you going to ask? That's a good time to like talk to her parents. And I said, well, actually, I wanted to talk to you guys about this. And then I was like, I kind of wanted to wait until Burke and Bubby weren't here because I wanted to just be us. But I mean, it's all right.
Burke was fine.
Yeah, and Burke was there. And Bubby, actually, we told Bubby, we were like, Bubby, why don't you go sit on the couch for a minute? And then so I was like, I don't even want to ask her dad and her mom for their blessing that weekend. I want to propose to her that weekend. And you guys were like, oh my God, oh my God. So then that was maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. And then Sunday, I FaceTimed your parents.
So this is June or July?
It was early June.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Or
months
mid-June.
before. Yeah. Hard to keep a secret. The
Yeah.
only one that didn't know was you.
Yeah.
Good.
And I FaceTimed your parents. And I said, I was like,
Were you nervous?
yeah, it was. Because I wasn't nervous for them to say no. Because I know, like, your parents and I get along. And we have a
Bronny
great,
Bloom.
and we have a great relationship. And I know that, like, obviously they would be expecting it at some point because just of how our relationship's been
Correct.
progressing, you know? Like, I knew that they were. And when I texted your mom, I said, hi, Edith, are you and Joshua available to FaceTime
She for
right
sure
now?
knew.
I said, everything is good, I promise. Everything was like, because you never know, like, your mom and I don't text really. So I was like, if I'm texting her out of the blue to FaceTime, either she thinks like something's wrong with Hannah, or she thinks like I want to apologize for doing something wrong to you, or she thinks I'm going to ask for, for their blessing. So
Yeah.
I texted, everything is good, I promise.
Which is good that you said that.
yeah,
Right.
because I didn't
My
want
mom
her to
would've been-
spiral.
Yeah.
Jews think the worst.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't know.
Can I talk to you? Who died?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, I don't know. So I made sure to do that. And then I was nervous. I put on a collared shirt, even though it was a FaceTime.
That's
I was
nice,
wearing
though.
shorts and I put on a collared shirt.
But that's because
Meanwhile, my dad's probably in a Trader Joe's shirt.
well, no. Your parents were getting ready to go to
your dad's in DMC.
they were getting ready to go to your grandfather's birthday party. They were actually like about to head out the door.
But you should be a little nervous. That's a normal. It's called respect. Yeah, that's what it's
I was
about.
nervous because I was like, I want to say the right things, and I want to make sure that like I say good things.
Mm-hmm.
So I was nervous about what words are
There's
going
not-
to come out of
that's-
my mouth.
That's the way it should be.
That's
honestly.
what it was. I wasn't nervous about them saying no.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Be stupid if they
So
did.
I was facing them and I said, look, obviously I would love to do this in person. That would be my ideal situation, but I want to do the actual moment in person. So we're stuck with this on FaceTime, like for now. And then I was like, I love your daughter, blah, blah, blah. Like I want to spend the rest of my life with her. I said a lot more things, but I'll keep that between the three of us. And they were,
Oh, that's where you draw the line.
no, but that was a moment.
300 episodes.
That
of
was
the
the moment
shit-
between me and our
shit-
parents.
I'm only teasing you. Go ahead.
And so they gave me their blessing. It was very nice. And then we were planning a proposal. I was planning the proposal with everyone. I texted her brothers. I texted my brothers. And everyone knew. Everyone bought plane tickets. Everyone was going to be in Miami for the moment. There was a lot of planning and stuff. The ring was a whole, picking out the ring
Exciting.
and all that stuff. It was
All
very
It's
exciting.
great stuff.
It's
Beautiful things.
And then so Hannah said, I want to go on a boat with our parents. I think that'll be really nice, like a sunset
You
cruise.
just couldn't pick a park, could you?
And so I was like, oh,
You have
that's
a 60-foot azimuth boat.
I was like, that's a perfect 70-foot.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
my God, I should have known based on the bill. Yeah.
I was like, that's a perfect proposal, like on a boat in the bay overlooking the city sunset. And it's even more perfect because she came up with the idea.
Right, so I
she
would
would
never
never
suspect
expect it.
it.
Like if I came to you and I was like, I think we should all go
Yeah,
on a
you're
boat,
gonna
you
know.
would be like,
Right,
Bron
because that's
doesn't
not
do that.
something you would ever plan.
Yeah,
No.
so it was perfect. So anyways, long story short, we were on the boat. I hired a photographer because I knew she would have wanted that. The
Yeah.
photographer pretended to be a stew on the boat. And Dad was so we all knew she was the photographer except Hannah.
Yeah.
She was like, would you guys like anything to drink or whatever? And Dad's quizzing her. He's like, so
You do this full time?
yeah, how long do you get? How
And
many
I
days a
didn't
week
think
do you-
anything of that.
Right. I'm like, does the
because
boat?
you're always doing that.
Right. I'm like, is this strictly for charter? Does the owner use it?
She has answers for everything.
Yeah, because before you got there, we asked the captain the same question in front of her.
Oh, really?
So-
I wasn't
you
there
weren't
for that.
Oh, that's why
I wasn't there for that.
Because that's why I asked her specifically the questions that we asked the captain that
she
she
heard
was
them.
listening to.
Got it.
That's
Okay.
That's the
funny.
reason
I thought
why.
you were just like making fun, like
No, I was fucking with
Yeah,
you, with you actually to tease you.
Yeah.
knowing that like, what the hell's he doing?
Right.
Yeah,
And you
that's
asked
what
her-
I was like. What the hell's he doing?
Do you do this full time? She said part time.
Right.
We didn't ask her what she did the other
I
part.
purposely didn't ask her. Right.
So we're all on the boat.
I do photography of engagements. Okay.
Well, I guess before this, so Hannah we were talking the night before because our parents flew in Wednesday night. The proposal was Friday night. We were talking the night before, and she was like, "Is everything okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, what do you mean?" She goes, "I don't know. I just."
Oh, a little hot.
She was like, "I feel
I said something's wrong.
Yeah, she was like, "Something's wrong. I don't know. I feel like is something wrong with us? My parents are being a little weird. Like I feel like they're being awkward. I don't know what's going on."
We had to be weird. All of us had to be a little weird because
everyone's worried about saying the wrong thing
Correct.
and
Right.
ruining the surprise.
And I also overheard a conversation between my parents and my older brother. So I knew at some point he was coming to Miami and he was going to be staying at this hotel. And I was like, why isn't he telling me when he's coming in? Something's wrong that he wouldn't tell me.
Oh, you felt slighted.
I felt, I
Yeah.
didn't care that he didn't want to stay at my apartment.
Yes,
That's
you did.
fine.
Yes, you did. You could,
But I was more like,
just admit it.
Why?
no, but I
wouldn't
get
he
that. Like
tell
I
me
wouldn't
that
want to stay
he's
at
coming
Bryce's
in?
apartment if I was when
I
I was
would not
visiting him
want
in
to.
New Orleans. I
No,
would
but
want
my
to stay.
apartment's
Girls are-
very
girls
different.
are different.
And also
That's
it's,
true.
yeah.
That's true.
Well, you saying your apartment's better than Bryce? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Clean.
100%.
So I knew that he was coming at some point and he didn't want to tell me when. So I was a little bit
Hurt.
offended.
You were hurt? Yeah.
Yeah. So
And she texted me. She goes, "Is it like?" Because we were talking about that, and then she said, "I feel like everyone hates me, or everything's off." And then she said, "Is it just me?" And I said, "I think it's you,"
And I
because
was
I
like-
was trying to push
You
it
told
off.
me you felt
I
bad.
said,
I was trying to push it off, and
That's
she goes, "Wow, that's rude." I was
Yeah.
like, "No, it's
it
just
was
I
just
don't." I was like,
so out of character because it was so insensitive to be like, that's,
But
it's
he
just
didn't mean
you.
it.
It's
He
all in your
meant
head.
me like
No,
you're
I
just
know.
like you're
You're
self for
overthinking.
nothing.
but I
That's
was
what he
just
meant.
trying to get her
Yeah.
mind off of all
Correct.
of us being
I'm with
weird.
you.
So I was
Right.
just trying to be like, I don't know, you're being crazy. Like, not saying like that, but I was just
He
not trying to
gaslit me.
make it. Yeah, I was. I was trying to gaslight you 100% because we all were being weird.
Right.
You were right. You were picking up on something.
Right.
But it was with good intentions.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I felt so bad about all
He
of
did.
it.
He said words. He's like, I feel so bad. I go, a couple more days, Bronze.
And it was all worth it.
I had the ring in my room, and anytime she would come into my apartment, I would be like, I was stressing, and I would follow her around. She didn't notice. But then I told her, and she was like, "Oh yeah." Like I would literally follow her around anywhere she would go in my apartment. I would be like, "Oh, so what are you doing?" Because I was
like, "Oh,
and
that's nice."
It was hidden away so well that
But
she never
there's
would
only-
have.
But where's the one spot you should have hit it that she would never go into?
Bryce's bathroom.
Right. She would never go into.
Never.
that.
But I was just like, who knows? She might be like, "Oh, I've never looked at this specific thing. Let me look in there." So I was just like following her like a hawk. I was so nervous about it. But anyways, then we're all on the boat. Everyone knew the plan except
Except for
her.
me.
And you got on the boat and you were being so casual and normal.
It was
You were
great.
just enjoying
Everyone
yourself.
was sweating and they were like, it's so hot. It's really, it's fine. I felt great.
And I could tell by your demeanor and your vibe that you weren't
No
expecting
clue.
it because you were being normal.
Yeah.
And if you were expecting it, you wouldn't have been normal because I know you. You would have been like low-key freaking out.
Right.
So I remember you like 20 minutes into the boat or something. They were having their own conversation or something, and you looked at me and you go, "She has no clue." You said that to me, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
Not
no,
a
she
clue.
has
Yeah,
no
yeah,
clue.
Not a clue.
Because we could just tell by your demeanor.
Yeah, of course.
So then we
And
get
we
to
had fun on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The six of us had a great time.
Yeah.
I don't really
Your dad actually twerked.
he literally
I
Fucking
missed that.
twerked.
I missed
He did
it.
well, it's easy. You got that on your knees too, so I don't want to hear about it. But he twerked. He literally twerked.
So I
Which, by the way, is so out of character for our dad.
Yes.
Okay, good. Me twerking, it's expected. Good.
So we get to the pre-planned spot for where we all know what's going to happen. The captain stops the boat. The city of Miami's in the background, and I
And
give
it's
everyone
beautiful.
the cue.
Beautiful. Weather's perfect.
I give the photographer the cue to get the camera ready, and I tell her, I was like, "Let's go up to the front of the
Let's go
boat."
to the front of the boat.
I was like, "Let's go to the front of the boat. It's nice." And she goes, "Oh, okay." And she's like carrying shit in her hands and everything. And I was like, "Why don't you leave this stuff here?" She's like, "Oh, no." She's like, "Let me bring my phone." I was like, "Just leave it." Because she didn't have pockets, so she was holding it.
And even then, there's a lot of times where I want to take a photo of a sunset and you're like, just enjoy it.
Right.
So it
I agree.
didn't tip me off at all that you told me to leave my phone.
Okay, well, that's good. I
Yeah.
guess.
And then we're up on the bridge looking over the front of the boat.
Right.
Yeah. So I bring her to the front. We're looking with our backs to everyone, and that was my plan. And also I don't think she has a good side. I think all of her sides are amazing.
My left
but
side is my
she
good
thinks
side.
she has a good
Why?
side.
I'm a little confused. What do you think?
Everyone has a good side.
No,
I don't
women-
think anything.
Your face is perfectly symmetrical, by the way.
Men
So
do not
not.
think that way.
Well, I don't think I look terrible on my right side, but I know that my left side looks better.
Why?
or more photogenic.
My nose looks better. My chin.
Retarded. Okay. Mom does that too. I don't get it.
Yeah. But
It's
by the
women.
way, shout out Michelle, the photographer, because before you arrived on the boat, she said, "Does Hannah have a?
She did.
Does Hannah have a good
I didn't know
side?"
that you knew my good side.
So she said, "Does Hannah have a good side?" I said, "I don't think she does, but she thinks she does. So you're 100% right. Let me think about this." And I looked at pictures of us, and you were always standing on this side of
Yeah.
me. So I said, "Then it's her
Oh,
left
it's
side."
funny because Mom will move sides. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh,
I
she
always move
always
sides.
switches
yeah,
sides.
boy,
That's why I'm
Jeez.
sitting here.
Yeah,
Once I want
by
me
the
to
way,
sit in the middle.
Yeah, I always sit there. This is the first time I've ever
Yes.
sat in the middle.
Yeah.
But look at me being a good fiance, moving my
Yeah.
position for
Yeah.
her. But luckily the photographer said that. So we go up to the front of the boat and I push you actually to the other side because I came first. So it would make sense for me to go walk to the far side.
Right.
But I actually stopped and pulled you to the other side, which you didn't notice at all because why
Nope.
would you have noticed? Then we look back and all of our parents and everyone and the photographer, they all have their cameras out taking photos.
I didn't even see the photographer's camera. I just saw all of you guys taking photos, and I still didn't suspect anything.
yeah, I
Which
guess-
is
you guys
because
are
this
always
is
taking
my
photos.
Nell is taking photos all the time.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, no, I'm on the toilet. No, I'm
So then Hannah goes, oh, they're all taking photos of us. Like, it was just like, oh, look at them. It was so funny. And I'm like,
make sure they get my good
I'm like
side.
freaking out because I see that and I'm like, oh shit, I have to do it now. Like I was planning on taking my time and waiting for but I was like, I have to do it.
Hey, but we're only an hour and a half into the boat
No,
ride.
but I don't mean taking my time, but I mean like, let me at least like take a moment to get ready.
Make sure, right? She should get down on her knees, right? Good.
So then I was like, oh shit, I have to do it. So she's looking back at all of our parents, and I grab her hand and I say, Hannah, and she looks back at me and she goes, what? Because she got scared because I just was standing there and I go,
You said
Hannah.
it so seriously.
Because I was trying,
AI.
no, but I'm like, it's a serious moment.
Right,
So
right.
I was like, I want you to look at me and be in this moment with me. So I go, Hannah, and she goes, what? And I was like, I love you. And I grabbed the ring out of my pocket and I start to go down on one knee and I'm holding her hands with me. And so I'm kneeling down and she starts kneeling down with me. Like there's something coming to chop our heads off or something and we both need to kneel
Like the
down.
Matrix. It's the Matrix engagement.
So
Good.
she's kneeling down with me, and I said, no.
you
You
get it.
stand up. And there's a photo of me like pushing her arm.
I
There
have
it
the
is.
photo
The
of you
video
getting that
too.
in.
Oh
Good.
my gosh.
So I'm
So
pulling
cute.
her up, and she's like, what's going on? She was so shocked. So then I did it, and she was
Yes.
she said, are you serious? Are you serious? And she was shook.
I was just very, very shocked.
It
And
was- which thing I'm
I don't
so
even-
glad that
yeah.
it ended up being a surprise because you like I was telling you and Mom, I was like, I don't know if she knows or not. There were little things where I was like, oh, she might know, whatever. And then I was like, if she knows, she knows. It still is going to be an amazing moment. It is
100%.
what it is. It's still great. But now in hindsight, it's like the fact that it stayed a surprise
Now
made
in
it
hindsight,
it made it so much better. Like I'm
100%.
so happy that it was such a surprise.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
I feel like in your mind, like going back to New York in our conversation, I felt like you in your mind were still like more in that side of our relationship. Like, oh, Bronson needs to get serious. And I feel like you were still in that mindset rather than like,
Right.
ooh, we're going to get engaged any day now.
Right.
Like you were
Right.
really
I
not
thought
expecting it.
It would happen by the end of the year, December time.
that makes
Maybe
sense.
Thanksgiving.
I was
That makes
also
sense.
trying to give little hints because she would like bring up like, oh, it'd be so nice to, be engaged, blah, 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 at this time or whatever. She would just like give little, things. And I was like, oh, it'd be great. Like, ooh, if we went away, if we were like on a trip and we got engaged on a trip, how fun would that
Right,
be?
throw it off.
Because I was trying to be like, because she knows we're not going on, we have no trips planned. So I was like trying to just push it off as much as I could and it worked. But yeah, she was so surprised.
And then we had like another 2 hours. We were all hanging out in the front of
Yeah.
the boat, which is really nice.
It was
The
really,
six
really
of us.
nice. And
It was
And I was very in the moment, but I don't remember what
No.
Bronson told me. I don't remember most of it because I was so
Shocked.
happy
Yes,
and
yes.
in such shock
yeah.
that I just wasn't there.
No, it sometimes takes a day or two to set in.
Yeah. Oh,
100%.
I don't think it fully set in until yesterday.
Yeah, no, that makes
yesterday
sense.
we were in Palm Beach and we were shopping and we were sitting. I was sitting in a chair in one of the stores, classic, and there was another guy sitting in the chair while his wife was shopping, classic.
Wow.
And
And he was
You're an
such
old
a
Jewish
nice
couple.
guy.
such a nice guy. And he was, he goes, so how, like, and Hannah's brothers were there shopping with her. And so we're all just like in the store. And he goes, oh, so like, how are you guys related? Are you all like, what are you guys visiting? And I said it was like the first time outside of the family. Well, first he goes, how are you guys related? Is that your sister? He said that to her. And I was like, no, actually, that's my fiance. And it was the first time that I said it publicly
right.
Isn't that cool?
to someone else. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And that's when
crazy.
it really hit for me.
Yeah.
It'd still be like when mom and I got married and then we flew, different years, no cell phones back when we got married and went from our brunch after the wedding and we flew out that afternoon to Europe for 2 weeks.
Oh, after the wedding. Oh.
After wedding, and then we're like, we're married. We're husband and wife. Like the whole time we're like, oh my God, husband and wife. Like it's a weird. So
I know.
it does.
Still keep looking. I'm like,
I keep looking
I'm like,
at
holy
it.
shit, you're not my girlfriend anymore. That's so weird to think about.
Whoa. Oh, here's the slave bracelet.
Oh, I took it off for today.
Wow,
Yeah.
impressive. There's a little growth there. Okay, so but it's gonna be a while. It'll probably take a good month or so before it comes sort of natural.
So wait, I want to finish the story of the weekend
Because
and then I
there's
want to
more
ask
to
you.
the night.
Yeah, but then I want to ask you because I was just going to ask you this question, but I'll save it. So then we were enjoying the boat. It was really nice. We were all just hanging out, all the parents and us. And then I was downplaying. I was like, oh, maybe a couple days before the engagement, I was like, maybe we should book a dinner reservation. I already had it planned. But I was like, maybe we should book a dinner reservation because there's 6 of us. Friday night, we might not be able to get in somewhere.
Chose a pretty casual place.
Purposefully. And I never booked the reservation, but I told her I did. And it was casual because I did it to throw her off because she would be like, in my mind, I was like, even if she's expecting this to be in the boat, the fact that I chose this as a dinner reservation 2 days before it will be like, oh, make her think, oh, he's not proposing.
And right before the boat, I asked you to change the reservation.
Right, we changed it to a different location. So then she still has no idea the rest of her family is in town. So after the proposal, I said, oh, actually, I booked us a dinner. We're going to Casa Tua, just the 6 of us. It's going to be really nice. So we show up at Casa
For
Tua.
those of you, it's a nice high-end restaurant.
We show up at
Really
Casa
beautiful.
Tua, and her brothers and my brothers are already at the table. And so we show up, and we walk in.
You were surprised, huh?
And she was shocked because her whole family's there now. And
If I had a heart condition, Friday would have been a terrible day.
Good and bad, bittersweet.
and then so then she was like, "Oh my God, my whole family's here. We have the whole weekend to celebrate." So it was really.
And
nice.
I was really, really shocked that they were there. And I was so happy.
And we've been celebrating for 3 days, nonstop.
Yep.
It's been a beautiful. The families get along great. It's been a great event, great time, good happy occasion, and it's been a great friggin' 3 days. Great 3 days.
Yeah, it's been really nice.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask.
We had lunch the next day again. The families. Then we had
Right.
another
We
nice
were
dinner.
all so tired at that lunch.
By the way,
Yeah.
we should have skipped lunch. I'm not
should
sure.
have.
We should
No
have.
one
We
We should
tried it. We did it, but no one was hungry,
And everyone was
No.
tired.
and we were
We were all
tired.
tired. I was still not present. I felt like I was in a
Oh, the adrenaline,
daze.
yeah, junkie, yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But last night we were at our house, which was really nice.
I loved
I
it.
agree. It's okay, but that we could have skipped lunch. But it's
Yeah,
fine.
but it's all right.
No, it
I
was
just
good that we
figured-
did it.
Because I
You
was
did the
like,
right thing.
there's 11 of us. If we can't impromptu go to a
100%.
No.
lunch. So I was like,
It's
just to
fine.
have the plan, and it was fine. It is.
And
what
then
it
we
is.
went to Mandolin Saturday night,
Which was great.
And Hannah booked. So I already had booked a event at Mandolin. Like we had a planned menu. There was 11 of us. It was a whole thing, and I already booked that. But
12.
then,
Chippy came.
true. And then Hannah told me, she was like, I'm going to book Mandolin for Saturday night for when my parents come. And I was like, okay, great, because I wanted to let her do as many of the plans to throw her off.
Right.
So then I emailed the restaurant after, and I told her, I was
Cancel
like,
my fiance's plans.
I was like, this is a fake reservation, but they kept it, but they just made a note
and they
of
kept
it.
texting me too to confirm the reservation.
Love
But
it.
that was all planned,
Perfect.
which was smart.
Perfect.
Everything was great. Everything went perfectly according to plan,
perfect.
which never does.
Great weekend.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because we were just talking about like how I lost my train of thought. We were just talking about how like when I said, oh, my fiance for the first time, and then it set in. Does our relationship feel any different now, do you think?
Yeah.
In what ways?
I don't know. I feel more, not that I ever felt insecure about a relationship, but I feel now just so much more comfortable.
In the
Just
future.
also being around your family more comfortable.
Yeah, I
And I'm
feel-
also, sorry to cut you
No,
off.
no. Okay.
Last night was the first time that all of us got together, our families, and I didn't feel nervous about having to keep the conversation going or what is this person going to say? And what is this? I
What
felt
is this person gonna say?
No,
Yeah,
also, no, there's my dad. There's a lot of different personalities.
Yeah,
So last
yeah.
night was the first time where I just kind of sat back and then I looked at everyone and I was so happy that everyone
You said it to
was
me
getting
across
along.
the table, which
I
is
was
really nice.
happy.
That meant a lot.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I want to say before you, number one is you don't ever have to be nervous. Number one, because you.
No, but it's nervous.
Can I finish?
Yeah,
I finish?
sorry.
I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
I understand why she
Because she
feels
wants
that.
everything to go well always.
Yeah.
I get it, but I want you to understand something. That I'm gonna get a little emotional. You never have to get nervous because, or be bothered, or not be who you are around us because for a couple reasons. Number one is we think the world of our son, and we know he's gonna make the right choice, and we trust his judgment with everything he does in his life.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is you've already surpassed of what we think of you, and that you're part of our family, so you don't have to worry about that. So however you are, good, bad, agreements, disagreements with us, you're our family and you'll always be our family. So it doesn't matter anything else outside there. If there's a situation that one of us does that bother you or vice versa, it will never change how we feel about you because you're our family. And we do love your family and we respect them and get along with them because they're important to you. So you never, ever, ever have to worry about not being yourself, being comfortable. You could say whatever you want to. You're not a kind of person that would ever be disrespectful. So you can come to us, like I said, I mean that for anything. And so you never, ever, it's the truth, you never, ever have to be uncomfortable. There's been things, Bronson and I, and me and my boys are very close. And I know I'm not easy all the time and whatever it is, but I am who I am and I'm never going to change. They've come to me and said that. And like we said, this is bothering me. And I said, listen, I love you. I
Yeah,
apologize.
for sure.
And we talk about it.
But that's what it should be with
That's
family.
what a relationship is.
And that's
So-
what family is too, is like you're never always going to get along. Bryce and I are the closest people ever, and we have disagreements and we hate something
Right.
that the other person does, and then we bring it up to each other, and then it's okay because we know at the end of the day we're
Right.
family. We didn't mean to be
Right.
know,
And you know, so like, you know, Nell and I have been together for 35 years. That's a long time. Not every day is perfect, whatever it is, but we know we always have each other's back. And we will always, Mom and I will always take care of our family. And I said, you're our family. There's nothing you can ever do that would ever bother us. And we like your family a lot. We get along with them. So I'm happy that you are feeling more and more comfortable. I think Japan had a lot to do with it.
Of course.
Okay. And I want you to know that I mean that sincerely. And again, we'll never butt into your relationship. That's not who we are. Our son's happiness is the most important thing to us. You make him happy. Therefore, you are important, just as important to us. So you need to feel comfortable at your own pace, whatever it is. But keep in mind, there's nothing you can ever say or do. As long as Bronson loves you and you make him, you know, you guys are a team and you're going to be the mother of our grandchildren.
crazy.
Well, no, listen, Hannah, we got your back till the day we
Thank you.
die.
That's nice.
It's the truth.
That is
I
nice.
agree with you.
But I mean it. I'm that Nell and I 110% mean what I just said.
I think there
Thank you.
was something because it's like nothing like literally has changed. I mean, there's like a ring which has changed, but
women,
think a lot
you know,
of
it's
things
big different for
literally
no,
women
but
in that
I'm
regard.
going to agree with
Also,
you.
you've had 2 months to prepare, not
You're
prepare,
right.
process
You're
it.
right.
For me, it's
You're
like
right.
all Friday.
Your whole life has
You're right.
changed
Right.
in within
Right.
5 minutes.
Isn't it so exciting?
Yeah, it is.
Well,
I love it. I
I
love
do
it.
like it does feel different. It feel like our relationship does feel different.
It is.
which is so. I
Yeah.
know, but like nothing has changed.
Oh, no.
I guess it has
It
changed because we've
100%
committed. We've committed for the rest of our lives
but it
together.
has changed. And even when you get
And my
married,
relationship with your family feels different, and your
Yeah.
relationship with my family feels
Yeah.
different. Like,
even us with your family, even
Yeah.
the two parents,
Right.
Just this weekend alone,
Right.
as we've gotten
Which is
like
what
it
I'm
feels like a
saying,
lot
like,
of like walls
every
opened
night there was a different dinner, and every night
was more enjoyable.
was
got
more
closer.
enjoyable.
I agree.
Friday night, of course, that's when it just happened. Was I loved it,
but it got a little deeper.
Yes,
It
yeah.
got a little more intimate, a little
And more
qual-
comfortable,
Yeah,
yeah.
more comfortable.
Yeah.
No, I think listen, I think it's gonna change. And remember, I said, you know, from our viewpoint, it's exciting because you have so many different chapters in your life, so many different experiences, good and bad. Hopefully, a lot more good than bad, right? But that's just part of life. But so many exciting things, and this is a new chapter, and then your job will become a new chapter, marriage become a chapter, moving in together will be a chapter, having children be a chapter, when your kids go off to camp, when your kids go to college, then become empty nesters. There's so many different facets and so many different chapters in life that you'll get to experience, and there's such enjoyability, and a great part of where you guys are very blessed, you have both families that love you and support you, and not a lot of people have that.
Yeah,
I'm being honest
That's
with you.
true.
Doesn't mean they don't love, but I'm talking the closeness and relationship that you have with your parents and that Bronson has with his family.
We know we could rely on both families for whatever
sure.
we
And
need.
that's a very important, because it's a nice thing to have, because most parents love their kids, but not always as close. And I think it's a good thing. And then, listen, guys, it's so exciting. This journey you're about to embark on is so exciting.
It's also so nice.
Relish in every moment, guys.
Yeah,
That's all I
we
can
are.
say.
We're trying to. It's hard because
Life.
not hard.
It's just life.
It's hard to be because before I did the actual proposal, I went downstairs in the boat, grabbed the ring, and then I took a moment to myself and I said, just be in this moment. Try to remember this moment as much as you can, because this is only 1 minute of it, and it's the only time you're going to be doing this for your entire life.
Yep.
Try to remember it as much as you can, but it's hard because it's so much excitement and
it's the
and we have all
adrenaline
the
that blocks your
families,
memory out.
so that it's I keep trying to be just enjoy this as much as we can. I mean, we are though, for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, it's only been 3 days of being engaged, which is crazy.
Well, we are happy. As I said, we are proud. We are.
Yeah.
We just couldn't have made a better choice for you, and you make us proud, Ronnie.
Thanks.
As all my boys, I'm saying, Mom and I talk about it all the time. We're very, very blessed human beings. It's all good stuff.
It's all good stuff.
So that's their journey, people. So listen,
Remember, Hannah she said, I think I'm only going to do 20 minutes.
But
that's always what
see how
happens.
quick it goes?
Yeah,
An
It
hour
time
goes
flies.
so fast.
It does. But this is very out of my element. So
well,
you
you're
guys are
killing
very
it.
comfortable
I
with
think
it.
you're doing. I think you're
But
killing
also,
it.
yeah, I mean, you were fully comfortable and normal.
And
Yeah.
you're completely fine. Honestly,
Yeah.
you've been doing it for years.
But I think also you've grown in our relationship. So this is a thing I said at dinner too. I gave a little toast to the families too, and I said, "You make me a better person and a better man," and that's in many, many aspects. So a lot that I've recognized myself, and then I'm sure there's a lot that I haven't even recognized in how you've made me a better person. But I think that that's one of the ways that our relationship is so good, is that we really do make each other better. And I think the fact that you you feel fully comfortable to come on here,
Right.
share yourself with the world, you're just confident in you're saying all that stuff. I think 2 years ago, this would have been a lot harder for you to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well,
So it's good.
she's basically a bloom now.
Yeah,
It's a
right.
big
That's what I'm
difference.
saying. Exactly.
But for those of you not watching, you got to watch, because I got to tell you something, not to embarrass you guys. It's so cute the way she's looking at you with such love. It's so cute. No, I love it. You gotta watch. No, you gotta watch it, because it's so cute to see that. I just see with her eyes looking at you. It's so
if you
beautiful.
look at the pictures from the boat,
I love
and
it.
you keep looking. There's a
just-
lot of
yeah.
love in the.
I love
in
it,
the love.
and
That's nice.
and it. I remember with Mom, it's like a year ago. It goes so quickly. I remember when we were your stage in life. Enjoy it. You guys have great shit to look forward to. You've got loving parents that will help you guys in every way. Hopefully, we'll be able to share the journey with you. It's great stuff. So,
and thanks to all the listeners for being here for
yeah,
the
we
whole time.
appreciate you guys.
They've been on my whole love journey
Yes.
for a long time, for 3 years.
Yep.
Crazy.
So I want to say, Hannah, again, so glad. I'm glad your friend's grandfather died. I hate to say that.
Oh my God.
No, but I'm just okay.
Sorry.
I am. Listen, I am glad the two of you found each other. I think it's an amazing story. May you guys only have great times together. Continue to love each other. Grow with your love. Grow with your memories, experiences. Do as much as you can. Take care of each other. Protect one another. Look out for each other. Make each one of you a priority. You guys come before anybody else. Remember that. No, listen, we know we as parents know that you guys come. You guys need to take care of each other first. So to you guys, shout out, love you guys, proud of both of you.
Thanks.
Welcome to the
Thank
family.
you.
You are the best addition we've had to our family, so we are pumped. To our listeners, we love you guys. Thanks for sharing the journey with us, and we'll keep you posted. And please, if you're only listening, highly recommend you watch. You'll get to know a little bit more if you can actually see the expressions and get a feeling for it. Bronny, I love you.
Love you too.
Okay, Hannah, I love you.
Love you.
Okay, you guys are the best. I love you guys. Take care, everybody.
I love you.
All right, bye. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me.
The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.